皆さんおはようございます。昨年11月に当選されましたトーランスのカリフォルニア下院議員の R 村土さん。そして1月にサクラメントで就任式に臨まれて正式にカリフォルニア州の下院議員になりました。今日はですね、村土さんのトーランスの選挙区の事務所の方へお邪魔いたしまして、これからの村土さんのお仕事、それから展望、希望、夢みたいな話を伺いたいと思います。村土さん、This is not the first time, but nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again. Thank you very much for coming to Torrance.
First of all, I would like to say congratulations to you. You had a very long, hard time to fight for this election. So when you were announced that you were elected,
yes.
How did you feel?
Well, to be perfectly honest, it was a very strange night because we won the election. We won my election to return to the California State Assembly. Yes. But at the same time, we were seeing the news unfold of what was happening across the country, and especially with the presidential election. And for me, I think it's no secret. I'm a proud Democrat. I was supporting Hillary Clinton, and so I was very disappointed that she did not win. So it was a long night of mixed feelings.
Yes, I bet. Now, although President is Republican,
yes,
but your district and you,
uh-huh.
or the whole California, is dominated Democrats.
Yes.
And I think it would be much easier for you to do the things or carry out your plan, everything
yes.
for your constituents.
Yes. Uh-huh.
When you went to Sacramento, did you feel that I'm back? Did you see your old colleagues in the chamber? Or
yes, it was like coming back to the California State Legislature. I know everyone there, and
only 2 years apart,
yes,
right?
So I've been calling it as a sabbatical, a 2-year sabbatical
that I took.
That's a good term. Yeah.
Yes.
After serving in 2013 and 2014, and taking a 2-year sabbatical, I am back.
Is there any limitation of the terms for assemblymen in California, or you can continue many times you wish?
There is a term limit, and this was a relatively new set of rules for term limits, but now members can serve for up to 12 years in either or both houses of the state legislature. And so technically, I would have up to 10 years left.
Okay, but since you have your first 2 years, those are counted as 12 years.
Yes, that is part of
it. So in the interval, no matter how many years, doesn't count, just only count the years you got elected.
Only count the years that I've served.
Okay.
Yes.
But I'm kind of curious about Muratsuchi-san's political ambitions.
Yes.
Are you looking into Congress someday?
Oh, well, I'm just happy that I have this privilege once again to represent the South Bay. My district goes from Gardena through Torrance, down through Palos Verdes, Lomita, part of the city of Los Angeles in the Harbor Gateway, Harbor City. So it's basically from Gardena down through Palos Verdes and from the 110 freeway out to the ocean. So it includes the beach cities, Manhattan Beach, Hermosa Beach, and Redondo Beach.
That's huge coverage area.
It's a big district. It's a beautiful district. I like to say that it's some of the most beautiful parts of the state of California.
Right.
And I just feel very thankful that I have this opportunity to represent such a beautiful community and beautiful district.
Well, do you think you got re-elected is because of your honesty, your hard work, your care, your passion to your constituents, all these kind of things? Do you think it paid off?
Yes. Well, I like to think that all the hard work and all the support that we've put together over years of service to the community, to the local community, starting with my service, 7 years of service on the Torrance School Board.
Oh yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
And then we worked hard when I was first elected to the State Assembly in 2012.
Mm-hmm.
I got to work beyond Torrance again to the larger district from Gardena down through Palos Verdes and from the 110 freeway out to the beach cities. But we are continuing to work on what we consider to be the basic common sense priorities that make the South Bay such a special place to live.
It is.
It's having good jobs, good schools, safe neighborhoods, and a clean and healthy environment.
And with a lot of Japanese here, Japanese food here too.
Well, yeah, that's right. That too.
Restaurant.
I like to brag to my colleagues in Sacramento that we have the best Japanese food in the entire state of California, right here in the South Bay.
That is true. I know your district. There are pretty big numbers of Japanese coming from Japan too.
Yes.
And most of Japanese from Japan in this country kind of stay away from politics. They're not participating or interested. Do you think since you're elected, would you like to let the Japanese in your constituent and come forward and know more about California's politics or even United States politics?
Yes. Well, I think for the Japanese that are living in the South Bay who intend to stay in the South Bay and stay in America, I encourage them to become not just permanent residents, not just green card holders, but to become American citizens. We live in a great country, and in order to continue to keep it a great country, to make it a greater country, we need everyone to participate in the political process. I mean, we saw what happened in this last presidential election, where a lot of people chose not to come out and vote, and as a result, we have a president now who is, in my opinion, anti-immigrant and doesn't stand for the values and the principles of many immigrants in this country, including Japanese immigrants. And so I think it's very important to vote and participate.
Yes, Muratsuchi-san, I think you are right. That instead of just holding permanent resident status, why not naturalize it to American citizenship? So you have the one vote, and to show how you feel, how you want. And I think that's truly very important.
I agree. There was a sign that we had in our campaign office. If you didn't vote, don't complain.
Which is true.
Yeah, a lot of people they may they may complain about a lot of different things. They may complain about their schools or or what's happening in their neighborhoods, what's happening in their community.
That's right.
But if they didn't make the effort to learn the issues and to vote, then they have no right to complain.
You're right. Shall we continue after commercial?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Muratsuchi-san, I know first time when you were in a political career, you first was elected as a school board.
Yes.
So with a long time school budget cut, all those kind of problems, and I believe it probably hurt your heart. And now, what do you think, especially now you become an assemblyman, I think you could have more power or strength to do even more for the education part?
Yes, education has always been one of my top priorities.
Yes.
Here in the South Bay, we have great school districts. We have great public schools, and that's one of the biggest reasons why people come here to the South Bay to live here, because everyone wants to send their kids to good schools.
Right.
And so I have a daughter who's attending a local public school, and so I have a personal interest in making sure that our schools continue to be among the best schools in the state of California.
Good.
In order to do that, we need to make sure that we're providing the necessary funding for our schools. That's one of the biggest roles of the state of California, is to ensure most of the funding for local public schools comes from Sacramento, comes from the state of California. And so we need to make sure that we're providing the necessary funding, not only for kindergarten through high school, but also, for
College.
our University of California system, our California State University system, and our community colleges.
Do you think we have enough fund?
We do not.
Uh-oh.
Yes, California is in the bottom half of states in terms of the per pupil, per student spending. There's of course a lot of political debate about what is the reason behind that. That trend started ever since Proposition 13 passed in 1978.
Yes.
So some people would say that it's a lack of revenues. It's a lack of enough money coming in so that we can give more money and spend more money on education.
But even with the lottery ticket, remember everybody
yes,
talk about that would help the educational
well,
fund.
actually, that I call that one of the biggest marketing frauds in the history of California.
Gee.
Yeah, if you look at the facts, the monies that comes from the lottery is actually less than 2% of the entire state's funding
so
for education.
somebody's making money then.
Yes, it's basically the lottery that's making a lot of money.
What is your idea, or what is your vision that what you have to do in order to get more and more educational funds, so for the those moderate family people, kids, they can go to school without worry about the tuition, everything.
Sure. Well, I've always been a big advocate for more funding for our schools, and I'm going to continue to do that. Just recently, I've submitted my request to the chairman of the Assembly Budget Committee for more funding for our South Bay schools. I've also introduced a bill to increase the funding that's given for the education of special education students or special needs students that have been diagnosed with an intellectual disability, conditions like autism or
yes, that's very important.
It's a growing population in the state of California, and I think we need to recognize that the students with the greatest needs deserve greater resources.
With the college, and I had to learn that because the budget is not enough, so don't have enough professors to have more classes. So the students have a hard time, and even 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, have to line up in front of the class and try to sign up the class. And that's, if lucky enough, you can sign up. And that, I don't think, California is a very rich state. GDP number 6 in the whole world. Can become a country. And yet, education, no fund. It's really shame.
Yes. Well, so if you look at the evidence, again, the state spends more than half of all spending on education.
Really?
Over 55% of the state's budget goes to education. But still, yet, I believe that we should do more to support our public schools from kindergarten through high school, our public higher education system. I really believe that not just our K through 12 schools, but our universities in particular. The reason why California has Silicon Valley and has some of the most innovative companies, not only in the country but in the entire world, is because of our universities. We have some of the most creative and innovative people coming out of our universities and choosing to live and work in California. And those are the people that are working at the Apples or the
Googles,
Boeings or the
yes,
Googles,
yes.
you know, or the biotech industry.
Right.
You know, California leads the country in the world in so many industries, and a big part of that is because we have the best workforce. You know, the most creative, most innovative workforce. And so, yeah.
But if we could have more and more university or college classes or professors,
Yes.
wouldn't that be more efficient?
Yes. Well, you know, again, that ties to the funding issue, and so not only do we want to get more funding for our public higher education system, but we want to make sure that that we're giving first preference to California kids first. You know, there's been an ongoing issue where because some of the most popular campuses in the University of California system, Berkeley, UCLA, UC San Diego, they have a growing percentage of students that are coming from out of state. And the reason why is because the out of state students pay a premium, basically. They pay more than what California students to attend our universities. And according to the University of California officials, they say that, well, that's necessary for us to admit more out-of-state students because that's how they are able to balance the budget and to be able to educate California students. But you know, my feeling is, you know, yes, I recognize the benefits of having that a healthy mix of diversity, you know, including the diversity brought by students from out of state and from other countries. But we need to make sure that first and foremost we're taking care of California kids first.
Our own people.
Yes, our own taxpayers. Yes.
I see. Well, Muratsuchi-san, so much fun and so many more things I would like to ask next week.
All right.
Week. Thank you so much. Next week I'll have more questions for you.
All right. Thank you very much.